Okay, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Greetings and salutations to you, brothers, on the highways and hedges, bringing this word with all sincerity. Shalom to you, Akwaf, who are in order, as well as you Israelites who look like these other nations, and shalom to all you sincere listeners. Shalom. Okay, as you can see by the title, I've called this Swing Low, Sweet Chariots. Okay, because the chariots are what we are waiting for to appear. All right, there's, the prophecies are coming to pass. As Elder Yawakanan said before, you might find a mushroom cloud in certain places of the world before the MOTB. But Babylon the Great is reserved for that coup d'etat of the Most High. Okay? The troops of the world will amass in the valley of Yahweh-Shaphat, which is the valley of Jehoshaphat, okay, for the Lord's judgment, all right, in due season, all right. There is not much time left, not very long left, but this is how it's going to go within this last hour, okay. And our hope, is coming with those chariots and those angels, okay. Yahweh Shai will lead that mission. Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, all right? And as I'm talking about the chariots, I want to read the book of Ezekiel, chapter 1, all right? The book of Ezekiel, chapter 1, just to show you how formidable these angels and the chariots, very scary, very real as well, very real, and will show themselves in due season within the earth, okay? Matter of fact, they're showing themselves now. All right, so I'll start. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 1 and verse 1. And it said, "Now it came to pass in the 13th year, in the 4th month, in the 5th day of the month, as I was among the captives by the river Chebar, that the heavens were opened, and I saw visions of the Most High." Okay, and it's important. Ezekiel was also in the time of Daniel. All right, it was the Babylonian captivity at this point. All right, and he was part of the Israelites who were carried away captive into Babylon. I'm not sure whether it was the first or the second time that the Babylonians had extracted people from that land, but he was among those that were carried away. It was in the time of Jehoiachin, okay, or Jehoiachin. That was the king of Israel at that time, okay. Under Nebuchadnezzar, this was the Babylonian captivity, okay? And it's verse 2. It says, "In the 5th day of the month, which was the 5th year of King Jehoiachin's captivity." Okay, so the king had been in captivity now for 5 years. "The word of the Lord Yahweh," and the Lord's name is Yahweh, okay? Not G-O-D or Jehovah. The letter J was only brought about within the 15th the late 15th century, I believe, and became, it only became widespread in the mid 1600s. All right, that's why the first editions of the Bible don't have the letter J in there. Okay, so it can't be Jehovah. The name of the Lord is Yahweh. Yahweh in the Hebrew. Okay, in the 5th day of the month, like we say, there's lessons within lessons. Brother, Shalom, Ak Shalom. Good to see you. Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatha. GMS in his likeness, we're speaking about, the hope of these chariots, the chariots that are going to be part and parcel of the salvation of the children of Israel, obviously directed and orchestrated by Yahweh, and Yahweh Shai coming to do the final coup d'etat on Babylon the Great and these nations as well. Okay, so to illustrate that, I'm reading from the book of Ezekiel, chapter 1. Okay, I'm at verse 3 now, and it says, "The word of Yahweh came expressly unto Ezekiel the priest, the son of Buzi, in the land of the Chaldeans by the river of Chebar, and the hand of Yahweh was there upon him." Okay, so at this point, he's received his calling. Okay, the Most High is dealing with him and is going to show him a vision. Okay, and verse 4, "And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud." Okay, a great cloud. So when we speak about the chariots, the word cloud is used in various other places as well. So I'll get to that in a minute. A great cloud, and a fire enfolding itself, and a brightness was about it, and out of the midst thereof as the color of amber, out of the midst of the fire. Okay, so that amber looks similar to fire. All right, what he's seeing is a chariot. All right, he's seeing a chariot within the sky. Okay, and just to get that cloud, the similitude to the clouds, it is Psalm 104, which I'll get right now. Bear with me, here it is. Psalm 104. And verse 3, if I'm not mistaken. So this is the book of Psalms 104 and verse 3. And it says, "Who layeth the beams of the chambers in the waters? Who maketh the clouds his chariot? Who walketh upon the wings of the wind?" So we understand that when it comes into the word clouds, that it's in the scriptures, it's equated to chariots. It's also in the book of the book of Acts. The book of Acts. I'll just get that real quick. Then I'll go back to Ezekiel. And this is the book of Acts, chapter 1, and I'll start at 7. "And he said unto them, It is not for you to know the times or the seasons which the Father had put in his own power, But ye shall receive power after that the Holy Spirit is come upon you. This is Yahweh Shai talking to the disciples. And ye shall be witnesses unto me, both in Jerusalem and in all Judea and in Samaria and unto the uttermost part of the earth. Okay, and this is the continuation of what we are doing. Okay, and when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, so while the disciples were looking, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. Okay, so he was basically beamed up into a chariot. Okay, which was, whether it was cloaked, to look like the heavens, or it was actually concealed by a cloud, but it was a chariot. All right. So we're coming back to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 1 and verse 4. And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, and a fire enfolding itself, and a brightness was about it. So it's bright, it's got lights, and out of the midst thereof as the color of amber. All right. And amber you can equate to fire. You can equate the look of it. It's that orange hue. Out of the midst of the fire. Also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures. Now he's looking, and he's seeing angels with special features, as we're going to continue. And this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man, so they looked human in appearance. Okay. And everyone had 4 faces, and everyone had 4 wings. So these creatures he's seeing have the resemblance of 4 faces, okay, and 4 wings. I just want to get a depiction. This is from a JW channel, but you can see that there is 4 there's 4 faces. Okay, this is just an artist depiction. All right, so we just looking at it for context. All right. Yeah. Verse 6, and everyone had 4 faces, and everyone had 4 wings, and their feet were straight feet, and the soles of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot. Okay. And the soles of their feet were like, and their feet was straight feet, and the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot. And when it says straight feet, like like as a man, not bent like an animal, or like a man. And their feet were straight feet, and the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot, and they sparkled like the color of burning brass. All right. So when it comes to the feet now, you realize that it could be that they actually had a cloven foot, like a cow, or it could have been the footwear that they were wearing, like those ninja shoes which have a split within the toes. All right, and it says, and they sparkle like the color of burnished brass. Okay, and that can go back. You can go back and equate that to John's revelation when he saw Yahweh Shai. Okay, his description. All right, so with an understanding now that these are brown skinned beings. All right, yeah, and verse 8. And they had the hands of a man under their wings on their four sides, and their four had their faces and their wings. Okay, so it's still giving the description. Their wings were joined one to another. They turned not when they went. They went everyone straight forward. So their movements didn't have to turn like we have to turn and angle and position ourselves for the direction that we are moving. They just move where they wanted to go. They moved at will. Okay, so they had no they didn't have to pose any structure for the turning. They just moved as they wanted, were up, down, left, right. They just sideways shifting how they wanted to move. They were moving. All right. Yeah. As for the likeness of their faces, they four had the face of a man and the face of a lion on the right side, and they four had the face of an ox on the left side, and they four had the face of an eagle. All right. So really and truly, if you're going to be looking at these beings, they were very it would be very frightening to behold them. But remember, these beings are here are here for the children. They are the host of the heavenly powers army. Some angels will look like regular people. Some will look like these, and my mind can't conceive the full host of the Most High's heavenly army. Okay, so what it's speaking about here is, if you had to behold it, that would be a real frightening sight to behold, and the face of a lion, the face of a man, face of a lion, and face of an ox, and the face of an eagle. So, and if you go into the characteristics of these things, the man indicates intelligence. Okay, so they have that intelligence. Okay, to a higher level. Remember, we are dumbed down to, seriously dumbed down. A lion depicts courage. An ox depicts strength. So all of these characteristics are within their beings. And an eagle depicts flight and swiftness. All right. Yeah. Continuing on. Yeah, Ezekiel chapter 1 and verse 11. Thus were their faces, and their wings were stretched upwards. Two wings of everyone were joined one to another, and two covered their bodies. So the two wings were up, and the two lower wings were covering the bodies. And they went everyone straight forward. Whither the Spirit was to go, they went, and they turned not when they went. It's the same description as in verse 9. They moved how they wanted to go, okay? As for the likeness of the living creatures, their appearance was like burning coals of fire. They had a brightness to them. Okay? The appearance was like burning coals of fire. They had an intense brightness to them. Okay? Looking like bright coals. Okay? And like the appearance of lamps, like I said, a brightness to them. It went up and down among the living creatures, and the fire was bright, and out of the fire went forth lightnings. So they were moving in a swift fashion, like striking, like lightnings. You understand? And tell me something, which army can deal with these? Which force in this world can deal with creatures such as these, with angels such as these? Who's gonna deal with them? Moving quicker than you can see, doing things that haven't even come into the greatest technology. And this is just, this is the not just, this is the angels of the Heavenly Father. Verse 14, and the living creatures ran and returned as the appearance of a flash of lightning. They're here, they're there, they're moving. When you read accounts of an angel killing 180,000 enemies of Israel, this is how they're moving. 180,000 in a night. You can't play with that, man. Who's gonna stand up before that? That was one angel. Imagine the host of heaven. It's a done deal. It's a wrap. Redemption is assured, okay? They that are with us are greater, are more than they that are with them, even if there were one of these beings. Even if there were one. As for the likeness of Salakia, this is Ezekiel chapter 1 and verse 14. And the living creatures ran and returned as the appearance of a flash of lightning. Now, as I beheld the living creatures, behold, one wheel upon the earth by the living creatures with his 4 faces. Now the chariot is coming in. The appearance of the wheels and their work was like unto the color of a beryl. Okay? You're seeing the chariots and they are looking green. And they 4 had one likeness. They were in uniform. They all looked the same. Okay? One likeness. And their appearance and their work was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel. So we saw one external disc surrounding one internal disc, okay? A chariot, all right? Which one was external, one was internal, all right? A wheel within a wheel, all right? An outer disc and an inner disc, all right? And it says, when they went upon their 4 sides, and they turned not when they went. They're moving like the angels are moving. They're not turning, and then they just, as you look at them, they can be here, they can be there, they're doing whatever they want, okay? The spirit of the angels is in these things. They are moved by the spirit of these angels, okay? And it continues. Verse 18. As for their rings, they were so high that they were dreadful, and their rings were full of eyes round about them 4. and the rings were full of eyes. So it's not actual eyes that are looking. The eyes that it's explaining are the windows and the lights of the chariots. Okay, the windows around the outer rim of the ring. That's what he's talking about. The windows and the lights within the chariot. All right, and it continues, and it says. This is verse 19. And when the living creatures went, the wheels went by them. And when the living creatures were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up. So really and truly, they don't they don't have to jump in the chariot. The chariot can move with the spirit of these living creatures, which are angels. Okay. Whithersoever the spirit was to go, they went. Thither was their spirit. Okay, so it's moved by the spirit of these angels. Whithersoever the spirit was to go, they went. Thither was the spirit to go, and the wheels were lifted up over against them, for the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels. So these chariots are moving by the spirit of these angels, is what it's saying. You know, this is a higher technology, a higher spirituality, a higher vibration than this world actually operates on. All right. If you'll allow me to just if you'll allow me to share a video with you. Okay. Now, this one that you're seeing here is not like what is being described in Ezekiel, the first chapter, okay? This one is described in the book of Zechariah, chapter 5, and starting at 1. Zechariah 5 and 1. It said, Then I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. All right. So when it's talking about a roll, it means a scroll. All right. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. So he's saying he sees a flying scroll. Okay. A rolled up parchment. Okay. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Then he said unto me, verse 3, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth, for everyone that stealeth shall be cut off on this side according to it. It's going to bring judgment. And everyone that sweareth, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. I will bring it forth, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, which is Babylon the Great, America, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. These chariots are going to be used for judgment. Oh, and before I continue with the video, I want to say fair use, fair use. I should have done that before. You know, this is a video from Skywatch TV. All right, we are not using this video for monetary gain, only for educational purposes. For the sake of time, I'm going to skip through these, through these different accounts, um, just so you can get an idea. And these chariots are making regular appearances in the earth. Okay, they are here as that really they are our reassurance that the Most High got us. The Most High has got that backing for us in that time. Okay. The wheel in the wheel. All right. I feel you get the gist of that. If there's so many craft videos that you can see, you know, extraterrestrial videos, chariot sightings around the earth, and it's very frequent. And these are the things that are going to um, put an end to Babylon the Great and their wicked, odious works that they do around the earth. It's going to put an end to Esau Edom's reign. All right. So I'll get back to the book of Ezekiel, and where were we? We are Ezekiel chapter 1 and verse 21. When those went, these went. So when the angels move, the craft moves, okay? The chariot moves. And when those stood, these stood. And when those were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up over against them, and the spirit of the living creatures was in the wheels, okay? And the likeness of the firmament upon the heads of the living creatures was the color of the terrible crystal stretched forth over their heads above. That's verse 22. So over them, when you check, when you look over them, there was, that's possibly another chariot over them with a cloaking device in the sky, and they can actually see the lights of it. They can see that Ezekiel can see the lights of it, and that is over. You've got the angels, you've got those their chariots, then you've got like a huge fathership that's over that. Okay, um, yeah. Verse 23, and under the firmament were their wings straight, and under the firmament were their wings straight. Okay, the one toward the other, everyone had two. which covered on this side, and everyone had two which covered on that side their bodies. All right, back to the wings. And when they went, I heard the noise of their wings. Now, this is to show you, true power, true, like the noise of great waters, as the voice of the Almighty, the voice of speech, as the noise of a host. When they stood, they let down their wings. Okay. And when they went, I heard the noise of their wings. So that beating of their wings, loud. And when it talks about the as the voice of the Almighty, the voice of speech, when you go into that that speech, it's like an extreme rushing sound. It's a so it's that. I can't do it justice. I can't, but that serious beat, probably I can't even equate it to anything, but that hum of those wings, and verse 25, and there was a voice from the firmament. So this is the one above now, that was over their heads. Yes, so you see the one above them. When they stood and had let down their wings. Okay, so that this is the sound now coming from the big chariot, and above the firmament that was over their heads was the likeness of a throne, as the appearance of a sapphire stone. And a sapphire stone is usually blue, okay? And upon the likeness of the throne was the likeness as the appearance of a man above upon it, okay? And I saw as the color of amber, as the appearance of fire round about him, with the appearance of his loins even upwards, and from the appearance of his loins even downwards, I saw as it were the appearance of fire, and it had brightness round about. So he's seeing the Lord, okay, in his full glory. He's seeing the Lord in his glory, okay? Is seeing the majesty of the Lord. All right, the Lord is sitting on a throne within this chariot that he has become privy to through the Spirit. Okay, as the appearance of the bow that is in the cloud in the day of rain. So it looks like that rainbow. We can see that light, that rainbow type light, and probably colors emitting from there. So was the appearance of the brightness round about. Okay, this was the appearance of the likeness of the glory of the Lord Yahweh. And when I saw it, I fell upon my face, and I heard a voice of one that spake. Okay, so that's the end of chapter 1. In chapter 2, the Most High is going to speak to Ezekiel, give him his mission. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I was, speaking about the chariots. I used that example of what we expect to come, but remember, in the coming, he's only seen 3 chariots in formation, right? We saw it in that video that they had 3 chariots in formation, but he's seeing it like real live and direct. He's seeing it that they're green, like the beryl. He's seeing that, and then he's also gets privy to the ship above, the ship of the Most High, the chariot of the Most High above, and that the huge one, right? So in total, that's angels, and that's a few angels and the ship above. But think of the coming of the Lord. Think of when Yahweh Shai cracks these skies with the armada of heaven. It will block out. The light will be blocked out. There will be a whole host, okay? The Most High is going to show out. There will be men's hearts will fail when they see that, okay? It will be scary, awe-inspiring, you know? That's why you have to be on the right side of this judgment, okay? Make your calling and election sure with the works that we are doing within the season, all right? And this is Luke chapter 21 and 28. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads. Your redemption draweth nigh. Okay, so in the midst of all this chaos, in the midst of all this terror and destruction that's going on, the elect of the heavenly power will be saved through these chariots. All right, ultimately through Yahweh Shai, the Most High, and the sending of His Son to put an end to this. But the elect of the house of Jacob will be saved through, these chariots taking you out of the mayhem. All right. We will behold the destruction from those same windows that we were talking about a while ago. All right. So, the chariots are real as you and me. Okay. And the Most High will send them into the earth in due season to complete His work. All right. Yeah. So that was the book of Ezekiel, the first chapter. And I hope you found the lesson edifying. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Brother GMS in his likeness. Hold tight, my bro. Keep on keeping on, and your videos are an inspiration to many, as well as you other brothers who are doing the work. We are searching for the elect of the Heavenly Father. We are searching through this word, spiritually searching, not physically searching. Anyway, shalom, shalom, shalom.